Are you following a low-carb or keto diet and just sometimes looking for something that is sweet, a little dessert? I love a little dessert after dinner or after a meal. And today's pumpkin pie with a praline topping is keto. So it satisfies those cravings and doesn't give us that sugar spike and then the sugar crash. I'm Dr. Joanette, ER doctor, professor of medicine, and a Blue Zone native. I teach people how to live better, live longer, and be healthier without any of the extreme biohacks or the luxury longevity expensive shortcuts. So let's get baking and keep things keto and healthy. We're going to get started by making the crust for our keto pumpkin pie with a praline topping. We are using a couple of different flours in this recipe. One of my favorite go-to flours anytime I'm making a keto dessert is the almond flour. Today we're mixing it up a little bit. That was a 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. And today we're mixing it up a little bit and also adding 3/4 of a cup of hazelnut flour. And to that we're adding 1/4 of a cup of keto brown sugar. Whatever your favorite keto brown sugar is, it could be allulose, it could be erythritol, whatever your favorite go-to keto brown sugar is. 1/4 of a cup of chopped pecans and a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt always makes everything taste better, especially sweets. It kind of helps balance it out. And a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Go to my website, growwithdrjoanette.com, and there's a great recipe there for how you can follow to make your own apple pie spice as well as pumpkin pie spice. And lastly, 5 tablespoons of melted butter. That was a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Mix it all up. Fork works great. It's going to be about the consistency of coarse sand. This is enough for a deep dish pumpkin pie. This recipe actually works best on a deep dish pumpkin pie plate. However, if you want a smaller one, you will end up with enough of both the filling and the crust left over to make a little pumpkin pie, which is what I love to do. That way I've got a little mini pie that I can eat, and if I'm taking it somewhere, I can take the whole pie, and I still have my little mini pie that I can have at home. That way I make sure I get some of that pumpkin pie with praline topping. You can see there that if you squish it together, it holds together fairly well. So we're now going to go ahead and put it into the bottom of our pie plate here, and just line the pie plate with it. You want to grease it with a little bit of olive oil or butter. Butter works great. If you're dairy-free, you would want to substitute non-dairy butter for the butter in this recipe, this pie shell. This is kind of my go-to for cheesecake. I usually don't use the hazelnut flour if I'm making a pie that is more of what I call a summertime type pie. Something like a blueberry pie or key lime pie. I use this recipe, but I use all almond flour instead of adding in the hazelnut flour. I like the nice brownness and also the nuttiness that the hazelnut flour adds to this pie shell. It just reminds me of a nice cozy fall day. For where you can find the keto brown sugar, the almond flour, the hazelnut flour, as well as the equipment that I use in this recipe. Scroll right down to the description below, and you will see in that link out there that takes you out to where you can purchase them. I do get a small commission, so thank you when you purchase these items for supporting this channel, for supporting me. I really appreciate it. And it helps me continue to bring you healthy videos that you can use to support you on your healthy longevity journey without breaking the bank. So thank you. I think we've got that pretty much in here, and I've got just about the right amount left over for a nice mini pumpkin pie. The oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We're going to bake this for about 8 minutes. So let's go ahead and get it in the oven. And while it's in the oven baking, we're going to work on our pumpkin pie filling. While our crust is par baking, we're going to start with some pumpkin puree. If you're purchasing pumpkin puree, make sure that you get the pure pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. Or, even better, purchase yourself an organic sugar pumpkin, bring it home and roast it up. If you don't know how, go to my website, growwithdrjoanette.com. Link is below. Search for how to roast a pumpkin, and you'll be able to make your own delicious pumpkin puree. By the way, the pumpkin puree that you buy is actually not even pumpkin, it's a gourd. So if you want real pumpkin for your pumpkin, keto pumpkin pie, roast up a pumpkin that you purchased. There's something really fun about roasting up your own pumpkin to make a pumpkin pie. We're starting with what's the equivalent of a can of roasted pumpkin puree. And to that, we're adding some eggs, some keto brown sugar, half and half a cup of the half and half, a couple of teaspoons of the pumpkin pie spice. Also, go to my website, growwithdrjoanette.com, and there you can find a recipe for making your own pumpkin pie spice. Really simple, and then you'll have plenty of it. You won't be having to continue to run to the store to get some more. About a half a teaspoon of salt, and let's mix that all up together. Oh, almost forgot, need some vanilla. Pumpkin is so good for you as well. It has fiber and beta-carotene, which is an antioxidant, good for your brain, good for your body, good for your cells. Antioxidants are important for keeping your cells' powerhouses powered up, because when we take our food and convert it into energy, we produce a lot of free radicals, and antioxidants are how we can counteract those free radicals. Free radicals cause damage to our tissue, they cause inflammation, and they cause aging, as well as they've also been shown to cause a lot of free radicals in the brain have been shown to cause and contribute to the formation of that tau and beta amyloid and Alzheimer's dementia, as well as other cognitive decline. So putting things into your diet that give you lots of antioxidants are important, like the pumpkin, the beta-carotene. And it's ready to go into our pie crust. Beta-carotene is also a good source of vitamin A. Vitamin A is important for helping us maintain healthy eyes and good vision as we age, or throughout our life as well. And we're going to have a little more than we need. We'll be able to use a little bit of that extra crust to make a couple, maybe 1 or 2 little mini pumpkin pies. This now goes into the oven. We're baking it at 350 for about 45 minutes. At 45-minute mark, we're going to take it out. We're going to add the pecan praline to the top of it, pop it back in the oven, bake it another like 10-15 minutes until it's done. And we'll have a delicious pumpkin pie with the keto pecan praline. Pumpkin pie is also keto. If you're worried about the crust over browning, you can put a protection around the edge on top of that edge of the crust. You can get them commercially. Scroll down to the links below. I have a link out to where you can purchase one. Thank you for helping support my channel, for liking, subscribing, and purchasing what you see here on this video. All of this helps me. I get a small commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it helps me continue to bring you these healthy videos that will help you stay healthy, live better, live longer, and prevent some of the cognitive decline and degenerative diseases that are often associated with old age. But we don't need to have them. We don't need to age, quote, normally. We can age better than that. And it's not going to cost you a lot of money. While that's cooking, let's go ahead and make the praline topping. I've got about a cup here of chopped pecans. I'm adding a half a cup of keto brown sugar, and I'm going to melt up about 3 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter, and add that into it. The butter is all melted. Into it goes. Just stir it up, and at the 45-minute mark, we're going to take that pie out. I'll check it. Actually, it's a little smaller than the deep dish, so I may only cook it about 35, but I'll check it at 35, see how it looks. We'll add the pecan praline topping to it, bake it another like 10-15 minutes, and it will be done. But before we eat it, we want to make sure that it's nicely cooled. That looks amazing, and I'll put a little pumpkin pie spice in the seasoning, in the topping too. Just a little couple of little pinches, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon or so. I can't get enough pumpkin pie spice. Favorite fall spice. I don't know, apple pie is pretty good too, but I really like pumpkin spice. Okay, we'll wait for that to get cooked. Our pie's been cooking about 35 minutes. Let's take it out, add that praline, and put it back in. And that looks like a little bit more praline than we need. Get that all out to the edges there. For the keto brown sugar, as well as this protector that you see that protects the pie from over-browning the edges of it, scroll down to the links below to find a link to take you out to where you can purchase it. Back in the oven for about another 10 minutes, maybe a little less. The pie was looking pretty close to being done. There you have it, our delicious pumpkin pie with a praline topping. You want to let your pie chill at least 2 hours, if not overnight, in the refrigerator before you cut it and eat it. The filling will finish setting up, and it will just let all the flavors come together so nicely. Let's give our pumpkin pie a try. This recipe is designed for a pie that's cut into 10 pieces. So we're going to cut a small piece here, and when you eat that piece of pie, it only has 5 net carbs. It has 9 carbs total, but 5 of those are fiber. Remember, fiber is what's important for helping prevent our blood sugar spikes. It also feeds our gut's microbiome that is important for producing so many things like antidepressants and vitamins and immune factors. See if we can get this piece out here. There we go. Lovely. And no pumpkin pie, in my opinion, would be ready to eat until we add a little keto whipped cream. Go to my website, growwithdrjoanette.com, for this full recipe, as well as how to make keto whipped cream. Just search for keto whipped cream, and that recipe will come right up for you. Super easy. Let's give it a try. Got to get some of that whipped cream, some of that praline, and some of that pumpkin. That is delicious. By the way, that crust, also, if you wanted to roll it out, bake it just plain, it makes great breakfast bars or snack bars that are keto-friendly and healthy. So, you might be wondering, is that piece of pie really keto-friendly? And I want to show you that after eating a piece of that pie, I am going to check my continuous glucose monitor. And I'm going to finish that piece of pie. We'll check my glucometer, and I am going to show you the results of that continuous glucose monitor. Here's the graph of my continuous glucose monitor after I ate the pumpkin pie. My sugar started at around 92. 1 hour later, it had actually gone down a little tiny bit to 88. And at the end of the second hour, it was back up to 92. Essentially no change, saying that yes, indeed, that keto pumpkin pie with a praline topping is definitely keto. Thank you for watching, joining me today, as well as subscribing, signing up for notifications, and clicking that like button. And we'll see you next time on the Dr. Joanette channel. Enjoy your cozy, delicious, keto-friendly fall recipe.